Hi guys, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. I just had a pretty cool mail call. This is the Void Tactical Freeman. I'm pretty fond of this knife. The name is right on the money, especially considering I just filmed my Punisher video. So this is the Freeman. I like it. This is a combat knife, and I'm going to give you my initial impressions on it today, right now. Stick around. If you enjoy this video or this channel, look in the description box below and see how you can support it. It is from supporters like you that this channel is made possible, not only through sales at my website, beachandtactical.com, where I primarily hand make rifle slings of my own design based on my experience in Afghanistan, but also Exodus Knife and Tool, my own knife brand. I have affiliate links in the link down there. I have a Patreon, and I have social media links. Please check those out. Let's look at the specs of this really freaking cool knife real quick here, and then we'll get to talking about it. Alright, so we're going to start off by talking about the blade here. And I really like the unique shape. There's always a balance in a combat knife, and that has to typically do with edge geometry between making it just right and overbuilt, and usually tip geometry. Usually that's the balance when we're talking about blades on combat knives. And so Void Tactical has gone about that in a different way than you usually see. You usually see I'll say a Bowie knife with a clip point or something like it would be most common. Obviously, the sky's the limit on what you actually see. This design here, and you know, maybe I'm completely wrong, but it reminds me a little bit of a sax. And so we have only a little bit of belly and a long clip here, and that leads to a tip that is definitely thin enough to penetrate, but it's still got some beef behind it. I'm definitely a fan. I think it's a very nice design. The small belly isn't what you would see on, say, a Skinner, but I often like it a lot for bushcraft tasks, for slicing. Not having a whole lot of belly can be nice for some long strokes and long slices, cutting cord, whatever the case may be. It gives you more usable edge, and I'm a fan for this application. All in all, when it comes to the blade, I think that everything in this design is practical. I would not be uncomfortable using this knife as a woods blade or anything else, but it's not. I could even do most of my basic skinning and gutting if I needed to. Wouldn't have a problem with that. To go along with what I just said, there's the edge geometry. It is thick compared to a skinning knife, but it is not thick compared to a combat knife. I would put the edge thickness at about standard. This is always difficult to show. Now, I talk about edge thickness a lot on this YouTube channel, and I want you to understand that there's no magic edge thickness. There is ideal edge thickness, there's good edge thickness, and there's bad edge thickness. And so if you can use a super steel and a super heat treat and get your edge thinner than anybody else while maintaining the same amount of strength, you know, that's really good. However, if you're pushing the limits that much, especially on a combat knife, there's no margin for error. So I do expect a little bit more thickness. If you go too thick for the given task, then that's bad edge geometry. So the given task is the name of the game there. I think that the edge thickness on the Void Tactical Freeman is at a good thickness to be thick enough to be stout, but thin enough to work. And it came with a fantastic edge. So I do like the edge, I do like the blade, I do like the unique shape, I do think it's very practical. I don't think that that is the best part about this knife. Again, I do like it, but this handle and the handle geometry, I think on this blade really shines. And that's saying something, because usually I like a Coke bottle shape, which we do not have here. We don't have a heavy exaggerated Coke bottle shape on this knife. But we don't need it. The rounding here is excellent. We have just enough traction on here that they milled in without giving hot spots, big bevels, and this finger guard around here. The way that they shaped this knife is so comfortable, and it is so intuitive. You grab this thing, you know what's up, you feel comfortable with it. It is absolutely fantastic. One of the better production knife handles on a combat knife that I've ever felt. I can't think of any right now that are necessarily better. About as good as you're going to get from a production knife is as good. These fit my hands fantastically. And so I'm talking about production knives here. Someone's going to pick up on that. So what about a custom knife? Could a custom knife be better? If someone made a knife exactly designed for my hand and my intended uses perfectly, the handle might be, 3% better, right? So we would have a very quick rate of reduced gains, right? This handle is really good. Also, the thumb ramp, I feel very comfortable and locked in right here. I could put my hand in oil and stab anything, and I'm gonna be pretty comfortable with this grip. Blood, whatever. This is a fantastic guard combo, but the thumb ramp is well placed so that I can also extend beyond it comfortable, which I personally like to do for my bushcraft tasks. Not everybody likes extending their thumb way up. A lot of people just like doing a fist grip. So this thumb ramp is perfectly placed so that you can do either. That's something that I don't see a whole lot. That means a lot of thought went into this design. And so we'll talk about the sheath really quick and wrap this up. I don't talk about sheaths very often. This is a basic universal Kydex sheath. This is Tech-Lock spacing. So the way that it came to me naked like this, it's streamlined, it's slick. You can mount basically whatever you want to mount on this for whatever you prefer. Everybody prefers something different. So I wish a lot of manufacturers would offer sheaths like this so that you're not paying for anything you don't need. As far as quality, it's great. These mosquitoes are driving me crazy. Quality's great. Click in, click out. They do sell jump capable sheaths, and what that means for you non-airborne legs out there is that you have a secondary retention device. So let's say you're jumping out of a plane, right? You need something that is incredibly secure. They do sell jump capable sheaths, but no sheath that's just Kydex is jump capable. But the retention is more than good enough for belt carry and for normal carry. I would not carry it with the weight that it has. I would not carry it upside down on my backpack or anything like that. If I want to, I can launch it. Again, that's pretty much just because we don't have a secondary type of retention here. It is a little bit of a thin Kydex, so there is ways to make a sheath to where it can't possibly do that, even on a knife of this weight, but it makes it more and more and more difficult to manufacture. I think this sheath, the price point and the quality balance are a perfect balance for a production knife. So that's what I've got, guys. Introduction reviews are meant to be relatively quick. This is my opinion on this knife based on the amount of experience that I already have. A first impression view. So it's not the most valuable reviews that I do. The most valuable reviews that I do are my long-term reviews. But I've got a lot of experience with knives, guys. I've got a lot of experience with combat knives. And knowing Void Tactical, these are made down there in Florida. It's 80 CRV2. I would be very, very shocked if I found anything that I was disappointed with in this knife in my long-term review. It's a knife that I, in a second, would choose to take on my deployment if I were to deploy again, or if I could have had this knife before I deployed. It would be worlds better than the knife that I did deploy with, which was absolutely awful. Someday I'll do a full review or something on that. Actually, I think probably someday soon. However, so what I want you to do, guys, check out Void Tactical. I'll put their information in the description box below. I think their prices are incredibly good, because although these are production knives, they have production models, these are a couple of dudes out there making knives by hand, doing a fantastic job, and they're paying a lot of attention to the whole package, the whole design, and making sure stuff works. That's hard to find. Check this out, guys. Let's talk about value really quick before I get out of here. Would I rather spend two knives are the same size, okay? One is $100, one is $150. That's a 50% price increase, right? However, and that might be hard to justify, but think about this. If you spend $100 on a knife that you hate and it does not work well for you, and that you're just constantly irritated with, and you're gonna buy another knife anyways, you wasted $100. So if you could spend the extra $50 and get the perfect knife and keep it forever and not have to buy another knife and enjoy it every time you use it, it is the better value. And what I'm here to tell you right now is that Void Tactical is offering an absolutely fantastic value, especially in this Freeman knife. I said I'd carry it back on my deployment. I'd carry it on a hiking trip, a camping trip, or any of my adventures as well. I think it's a very versatile knife, and versatility is important to me. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below. In the description box below, you'll see how you can support this channel through my website, my knife brand, my rifle sling brand, my Patreon, my affiliate links, all of that crap. But above all of that will be links to Void Tactical so that you can check them out for yourself. I'll have a link to their website. If you want to find them on doggone social media, just type in Void Tactical, guys. You can handle that. So that's all I got. Look forward to talking to you in the comment section below, and I hope that you